right, big man, it is 3 in the a.m. I told everyone I was going to bed early tonight, and then I got to digging in on your programming, and next thing you know, it's a rabbit hole. Because I've already actually have your program written, but I've made some notes here. I'm having some issues with my software, and I've had everyone with a Gmail email address has told me that none of my photos have gone through. So I pay for the use of my software. There's a company that's in charge of making sure everything runs smoothly. So I've contacted them. But the photos that I'm sending you, for some reason, aren't coming through. Hopefully they'll take care of that really, really soon. And then I can get you the photos that I've attached here. But strict press, keep building on it. You're doing absolutely amazing. Your shoulders are a major weakness for you. I'm sure you can see that when you go over to like the other guys who are, pure strongman or power lifters. The guys on the log press that, they look like the Terminator, big bowling ball looking shoulders. Their issues are going to be, they're not going to do what you are or what you're going to do in the gym either. You're right to keep working on the strict press and keep working on the strict press. And then when you miss or it gets hard on strict press, push a little bit. I've got the percents low enough that I think we can keep almost everything strict. Your strict is going to be much more efficient than the average person's strict because you know how to stabilize your entire body on a strict press. If you take someone like the guys you're training with on the weekends that are just strongmen, their just strict press is going to be just shoulder rotation. So that probably doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but I know that makes sense to you. Everything else in the body that's involved in stabilizing on a strict press, you are used to doing, where most people are not. So keep working on it. Along with let me see, what else? On your presses, got your wrists straightened. They're much, much better. They bend back a little bit, but I can tell when you're doing inclines, your wrists are much more straight. That is a big thing on the bench, is to make sure you have your wrist straight. We tell people all the time, lock in straight, because you tell them you want to pull the bar apart. This hand go this way, the other hand go that way. You can't do that if your wrists are bent back. You can't do that. You can't apply pressure. You can't get everything set onto your elbows, your shoulders, lats, triceps, not shoulders and elbows, but on your triceps and lats, if your wrists are bent back. So I can see you on incline, straightening the wrist. That's absolutely wonderful. Do the best you can. The more incline and overhead it gets, the more that a bent wrist is accepted. You know that from clean and jerks. It's just going to happen, but work on it. Much, much improved. You're doing the plank press, and you're not happy with what you look like during the plank. I haven't had a single client in 3 years of doing those that were happy with how they looked at doing plank press. I can say without a questionable doubt, I have never had a male client that can do the plank press as good as you. I have a female that's pretty close currently. She's been working at them longer than you, and she's really, really small. But your plank press is so good, I would love to have a video of just you doing the plank press, one perfect set, and the plank raises. And I would love to be able to send that to people and say, this is what they're supposed to look like. Going through the rest of the session, so we had some issues with training days. I need 48 hours to get your programming. We were late a little bit last week, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning this week, and this is, honest to goodness, the best that I can do. It is really easy to cut any day out of this programming, and you'd be fine. You could take any day and say, okay, you could take any 2 days and say, well, there's a squat, a press, and a pull. I'm going to do one press from this day, one squat from this day, and one pull from this day. and that would be fine. Just let me know. If I need to shorten this a day, I can. If you need to skip a day, you can. If you want to mix 2 days together, you can. You can skip the lat work and the tricep work if you want to. With all of the mixes and matches of exercises that I've got you doing, none of them are killer hard. That's why you're able to do that many days. But just let me know what you do, and I will make adjustments. But I need to get an idea of what you want to do. It would be great if you could have a day of rest, before you do events. That would be wonderful. And then, a day of rest after events. Going down here through your videos and the photos, the screenshots that I got of you training so I can remember everything. Your squats look amazing. Honestly, I don't need 45 minutes to an hour of video of you training to look at. I've got a pretty good idea on what things are going. If I get an idea every day of what your hardest set of every main exercise looks like, I think I'm good. Your events, I would like to see. Your log press, I would like to see. Farmers, yoke, any events, I would like to see several sets of each. If you have any lift that you have any question on, I would like to see a few sets of each, at least. Let me see. Looking at a couple. The deadlifts, I think you're deadlifting with a clean grip, which is what a powerlifter calls a snatch grip. But I would like to see your feet come in just a little bit, a couple centimeters each side. Your hands come in a couple centimeters each side. I want to maximize the length of your arm. Although you may be your strongest with the grip that you've got now. Rounded back deadlifts, if I left those in, I think I pulled those. No, they're still here this week. Slowly increasing the weight on those. A little bit more lock in the knees. Don't be afraid. You're not going to get hurt. These are highly hamstring reflective, over back reflective. So you want to be able to apply some kind of force, like a point of impact when the plates leave the ground. Actually, you're 90% of the way there. The Crucifix Hold. You have no reason to train for a Crucifix Hold, which is exactly why I put them in there. I've got this feeling just from looking at you and watching a week 1 that you need more shoulder work. And, I've got clients that train with 40 and 45 pounds on the same style program with the Crucifix. I can't. I have weak shoulders. I've got old, beat up, damaged shoulders. I use really, really light weights with these, and I do it several times per week. If you want your overhead press to grow, then we just need to continue working on those. Do an extra set. If you're doing the sets to the side, do an extra set to the front. I'll probably rotate that in next week as well. But those little static movements, this is about you controlling the weight with the muscles, the little tiny muscles, not just the press muscles, not the stabilizing muscles, but it's about you controlling the movement with those little tiny muscles. I think I've got some behind the neck presses this week, and because you are efficient at behind the neck presses, after you finish the light 5 sets of 5 or whatever I wrote down here, if you want to work up, so with some explosive safe singles, feel free. I don't think you're going to hurt yourself. I don't think you're going to damage yourself for at any point, the rest of the week. I think you're going to be fine. So on any day, because I've got you training very frequently, and these exercises are fairly low impact on your body. You are getting in shape very quickly. All of these lifts are designed around a weightlifter's strengths and weaknesses that wants to transfer over to the sport of strongman. So all that into consideration. Every single day, you look at the 4 or 5 exercises that I've got written down for you to complete during that day, and it's basically a full body session. If there's one exercise that you say, man, this looks like fun, I really want to push. I know he just says 70% or 80% for 2 sets of 2 with a super slow negative and a super slow positive, but I really want to just fire this up today. Then do the required sets, and then do something fun. Just don't get hurt. Absolutely don't get hurt. If something is heavy, drop the weight. The percent on the bar doesn't matter near as much as the sets and reps do with everything that I program. So if you feel good, go up. Just understand you have to recover and you have to train again pretty soon. And after you've completed everything that I've asked you to, if you feel amazing, and honestly, everything that you did this week, Joke, looks a mile above last week, which was a mile above the week before that, especially your squats and your pulls. Man, it's ridiculous the progress that you're making. If you feel great, have fun, man. Have fun. Let loose and have a little bit of fun. And then if you tell me, hey, man, I pushed a little hard last week, I'd like to pull back on a couple of days this next week. Let me adjust. You don't adjust. You let me do my job and let me adjust. We're here on events, and honestly, your log looks much better. I'm going to keep everything the same as the 5 sets of 1, and I'm keeping it 80 to 90% because you looked really great at this last week. I'm going to give you the freedom to work up from there. Because I think the more serious that you took it, the better you got at it. You are dipping down way too deep and way too slow. You have to dip quick, shallow, and explode up. Okay, I don't know. You know, with a weightlifting bar, you dip and then you want to let that bar carry you up. It determines how, it determines your motion as you're going to press up. You know what I mean? You dip down, the bar bends, and as it goes to come back up, you use that momentum to carry you up. That log isn't going to bend at all. So you've got to keep your chest up. Short dip. We're looking, I don't know how many centimeters that I can't ask a man how many centimeters that is. But you're looking at 1/2 to 3/4 of your head height. I've got a giant head though. You're looking at a very short dip, lots of drive, and then press with attitude. No slow pressing. I mean, snap that press as hard as you absolutely can. And as your upper back, triceps, and shoulders continue to get stronger, that's going to click. And when it does, you're going to add ridiculous amounts of weight to your log press really, really fast. Yoke, it's like a different person. I would like for you to tell me how much weight you guys were using on the yoke, because I would like to use that this week to give you an idea of what speed should look like, because you look like you're casually walking with the yoke. And you got to run. You have to move, especially with the light weights that it seems that you guys have on there. So, and then I've included an extra day of log press work. That's just practice, you having fun. So I'm going to put this on YouTube, get you this link, get you your programming into. I apologize, photos are not loading from my computer right now. But as soon as I get that done, figured out, I'll get it taken care of. So enjoyed the week thoroughly here on my end. Cannot wait to see what you do. Talk later, man.